Hi, this is Karen with InspiredByGraham.com. Welcome to my channel. Today's my simple stamping card. It uses the Celebrate Sunflowers stamp set and the Ornate Garden Designer Series paper. So let's get started creating this simple card. Alright, so here's the stamp set we're using. Fabulous, very detailed stamp set, which you'll see when I stamp the sunflower here. We're going to use the two leaves here, and then we're going to use Let's Celebrate You. Okay, so then the Ornate Garden, a specialty 12x12 designer series paper, has, it comes with 12 sheets, 2 of each, and these are all the nice patterns that come in that paper. All right, so let's get our kit in front of us here. Not many pieces to it. And we've got our Whisper White envelope. All right, so let's start with the card base. I have chosen crushed curry, and this is cut 4 1/4 by 11, and I've already pre-scored it at 5 1/2. The inside panel is 4 by 5 1/4, and you're going to want 2 of those because we're going to use the same size on the front of the card. Then I've chosen 2 pieces of the Ornate Garden Designer Series paper, and it's actually the front and back of that same pattern here. All right, so they're not quite squares, so they're cut 2 1/4 by 2 1/2. And then our stamping piece here, I've got a piece of crushed curry that's 2 5/8 by 2 5/8, so a square. And then the Whisper White one is cut 2 1/2 by 2 1/2. All right, so we are going to stamp. You're definitely going to need some scrap paper when you're stamping. All right, so we've got our Whisper White. I've got my very large stamp here. It's on a block here, and the size of the block is E, and it barely fits, but it will stamp nice for you. So when I have a big stamp like this, I always take the ink pad to the stamp because you have much more control spreading out the ink. Now we're just going to simply stamp right over this square, and it's most likely going to stay to that rubber because there's a lot of detail and ink on there. So that's what that looks like. Let me just bring that up to the camera so you can see all that fabulous detail. Okay, so we're all set there. The next step is going to take one of those panels, the Whisper Whites, 4 by 5 1/4, and we're going to ink the Let's Celebrate You in the crushed curry. And we're going to simply just stamp that right down at the bottom towards the right. All right, so the next step, we're going to need Whisper White, and we also need, let's see, Old Olive ink. Got that right here, and we're going to stamp the double leaves just in the lower left corner. And again, we're going to do the same thing on the envelope so that our card in our envelope all matches. You could also stamp the sunflower there, and that would look really nice as well. All right, so we are done stamping. Now it's just a matter of assembling, and we should be all set. All right, so let's take our Stampin' Seal here, and we're just going to add it along all 4 sides, and then we're going to adhere it right to that crushed curry panel. And there's an 1/8 of an inch border, so it's very close, but just a little hint of that crushed curry. Let's bring in our card base here, which is again crushed curry. We're going to add that stamped panel to the front of the crushed curry, and this is a top fold card, and we're just going to make sure that our card is opening the correct way before we lay this down. The Stampin' Seal is very sticky. It's a very strong seal, so it would be hard to pull that up. All right, then the next thing we're going to look at our designer series paper, and we're going to figure out which one we like better and what pattern. So this is what it would kind of look like here. Or do I want the brown and more of the yellow showing. I gotta look at the pattern here because that's kind of upside down. All right, if we go this way, and then maybe the green there. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So let's just add some adhesive. And we're just gonna simply put this up in the right corner, or left corner, on a 1/4 inch border on the top and the left side. Now we're gonna take that other panel, add more adhesive to it, and we're gonna just lower it down here, right above the Let's Celebrate You, with a 1/4 inch border on the right side. We don't care about this because our sunflower is going to be right over here. So we'll need some dimensionals. I always like to use my dimensionals because they do give your card lots of dimension, and it just, so that it's not like, you know, flat on. It's giving you a little bit of height here on this panel, so that that panel actually pops up at you. It's the focal point. I'm also going to add a small, one of these small dimensionals right there in the middle so that that panel doesn't buckle. I'm just going to simply use my thumbnail here to give it a press in the middle to easily remove the backing of the dimensionals here. Okay, now this is sunflower, does kind of have a pattern. Oops, and I'm going to just look, just rotate it and see which direction I want that flower looking. As you can see, this one is upside down because this is actually, I believe, the lower side of that sunflower. I think it looks good because it's actually, I think the flower is looking this way. So I'm just going to adhere it down here, just like that. And then we're going to add our inside panel. Just add some adhesive there at the top. And then we'll just open up our card here and just layer it down a 1/4 inch border and give it a nice press so that panel does stick. And then the final thing we're going to do is we're going to add some of these. These are the gold glitter enamel dots, and they look really nice with any kind of yellows and browns. So I'm just going to use my Take Your Pick tool. I'm using the putty side. And I'm just going to, actually, I might not use the putty side because I found that these actually are really stuck to the clear sheet here. So you're going to want to use your the pointer here, the sharper side. So I'm just basically taking 3 different sizes, and I'm adding one down there because there's a lot more white space. And then I'm just going to add a medium and a really tiny one. And we'll just add it right there. All right, so that's our simple stamping card for today. Let me just bring in everything here. So here's the card we made. And then here's the matching envelope. And then you can see the card I made earlier here with the envelope. The flower's going in a different direction. So it doesn't really matter, just to make sure that this part here of your sunflower is on the bottom. All right, for all your Stampin' needs, please visit my website at inspiredbygram.com. Thanks for watching.